Hello, this is the Criminally Insane with the Nefarious POET. Uh, Episode number one. Uh, Today we're going to have the homeboy J Dubs, owner uh, of the Double Dare Entertainment. Uh, he produces, or has been producing the first two shows that I've been on here. And I've known him for a long time. Been through the dirt, good and bad.
Mm-hmm.
And we also got another person coming on later on the show, Marcel Hoffer, who's also a successful ex-con, doing things, trying to help people and give back that karma. I guess Dubs, lay a little foundation about where you're from. Where you grow up. How was your family raising when you were younger?
Okay, I just want to make this known. But for the first one here, we're gonna do it from the Double Dare channel. But Poet does have his own channel that is going to be posting here. He'll have it up by tomorrow. Let's put it that way. So I want everyone to make sure we'll have links, and I want everyone to go subscribe, man. Holler at my boy. He's doing a good thing here, and I'll just start in. For those who don't know me, man, I'm Jason Whiting, aka Jason Dubs. Man, I started. I grew up in St. Paul, on and off. St. Paul, Minneapolis, Arizona. My dad was a cop. My mom respectfully didn't do anything. Yeah, you know what I mean.
So your dad was a cop.
Yeah.
For where was
he was Maricopa County.
Maricopa County
in Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How was that growing up as a cop's son?
Man, well, it was a little different. He was a very violent man.
I've seen that from quite a few. Yeah. From quite a few people that their police fathers are pretty violent people. It seems. Yeah. That's not saying all of them are, of course. Yeah. But I had a friend when I was younger who they played Short Straw one night.
Yeah.
And Billy Petrie, he drew the shortest straw, and his dad was a cop, and he came home and shot him with this.
Oh wow!
Yeah, because that's how bad he got beat by. But anyways, keep on. Yeah.
And I bounced around a little bit. Started getting in trouble and stuff. When I was real young, I grew up in foster homes and juvenile centers and all that good stuff. I started early.
Right. And so skip ahead. When you what was the first time you started getting locked up or going the other way?
I suppose like 13. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like
right.
13 when I first, I started as a teen. I saw what everyone else was doing. I had uncles that sold drugs and stuff like that. And what comes with that, you see the money they have, the toys and stuff like that, and it just makes you want to. It makes you want that as a kid.
Right. Now, I'm going to lay a little ground history here. Dub is in a wheelchair. And when I first met Dub, he could still walk. So he's got a disease that they really ain't got a name for. That's, he's losing his, what was it?
Yeah, well, I'm qualified paraplegic. It's called the X chromosome disease. But what that means is the women carry it, and the males get it. That's what it means. But they say it's terminal. There's only been one other person I know of that has it, and that was my Uncle Barry, and he died when he was 49.
Right.
In 2017. So the only thing that we have to pull from is what happened with him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. So, right. Which makes sense. It sucks. Yeah. When there's things like that not a lot of people have, so there's not a lot.
It didn't help me sitting in the chair in St. Cloud, though. I can tell you that.
Right.
Yeah. Once you lose it,
right. We used to make sure he got out of his chair. We'd get up. We'd make him walk around the track. You know what I'm saying? Like St. Cloud, we used to pick up his wheelchair, bring him down the hills and shit because the hills are probably pretty hard. There's a lot of stairs going down there. But so then he'd get down there when we'd make him exercise them legs. Yeah, you start can't get out the cell, man. Like
they gave me a choice to eat in my cell or sit down and go to the chow hall, and I wasn't going to eat in my cell like that. Even though I had one of the bigger ones in the back there, I still wanted to go to the chow hall like everybody else.
Right. Right. Okay, so you started getting in trouble when you were younger.
Yeah, no,
And then how about did you get to the path where me and you met in St. Cloud? And what year was that?
That is 2000, 99, 2000. Could have been.
It was before that, wasn't it?
No, it was 99.
99. Okay, we'll go 99, 2000.
Yeah,
Right. And so what got you there?
Methamphetamine, man.
Methamphetamine.
Selling, using it. Yeah. I started taking it up north to this little town, and because there was more money up there, but there was also better chance of getting caught, especially when you're buying nice toys and stuff like that. Everyone looks at you, and
Right. Right. We all know how that goes.
Absolutely.
All right. So now, skip ahead. Where you become an adult. Now you gotta get punished as an adult.
Absolutely.
Right. And so what was your first experience going into prison? What do you remember that as?
Man, rolling up to St. Cloud, man. I don't think I've ever been that scared of anything in my life. Man, they got that. That's a very intimidating place, man. Especially since you don't know what's going to happen to you on the inside. You ain't never been there. You've been to a lot of juvenile settings and stuff like that. But this is big boy school, man. When they roll up there, they didn't take me on a bus. They took me in a car, and I rolled up, and they opened them gates, and then you see that big watchtower there, and you're rolling up in there. And man, I couldn't even generate spit, man. I was so scared. I can tell you that.
Right. Yeah. So me being Dub, we meet up in there, and I get to know Dub, and at that time, I was part of the PMBs in Minnesota prison, and Dub, he was, he did, he was, he never, no, you couldn't when you seen Dub, you never took what else was going outside of him besides his reason why you want to, help him out. He's just a good-hearted dude. Always been a good-hearted dude. And so I actually prospected him into the PMBs, right?
Sure did.
I was his sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we've known each other for over 20 years.
Yeah, long time.
Now, you get to that point. Now, let's talk about on the flip side of things, because I know that, like, you and your significant other or your wife, Tara, you guys met in Portland? Is that where you guys met?
No, we met here, but she's from Oregon.
She's from Oregon.
Yeah.
But you were like homeless and doing that whole thing for a while, weren't you?
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
had the whole opiate, problem.
I had an opiate addiction. I was addicted to heroin for quite a while, and then we just ended up going to Portland.
Right.
You know what I mean? I lived in a tent for a while. I've never seen poverty like that.
Right.
I can tell you that. I thought I knew poverty, man, but let me tell you, man, and in those places, there's community of poverty-stricken people, homeless people, and stuff, and that's scary business there too, man. Yeah.
Right. How long did you guys do that for?
I think we did it for about a year.
About a year.
Yeah.
Oh, in Portland.
Yeah. I didn't want to do it. I know too many people here, be signing on the street and shit.
Right.
It was embarrassing, bro.
Yeah. You get to thinking, it's like everybody got their own purposes and reasons. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Half of them are fake, half of them are real. But what I can tell you is, like, I remember one time me and you were in the car, and there's a guy signing on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And Dub says, "You know what? Pull over, man. I'm gonna give this dude some money."
Yeah.
And like me, no, sorry, dude. Maybe that's part of something I need to change, but it's like, you can get it from somebody else.
yeah, right. I feel you, man. I've been there though. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whether he was going to go spend it on drugs or whatever he was going to use it for, the
Right.
guy needed it, man.
Right.
I've been there. I know what it's like to be sick. I know what it's like to be there holding that sign.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, right. See, I've always, and that's been part of my problem is I've always been too proud. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm always like, I'm gonna handle this myself, and
Yeah.
then I gotta go do. Then I end up doing something stupid because I got too much pride. And story of my life, man. You know. Yeah. So go ahead, and then we're in St. Cloud.
Yeah, we're in St. Cloud.
We were in Moose Lake together.
We were for a little bit until you got in that fight, and then you.
Yeah, I did. As soon as I walked into Moose Lake, they I walked in. I remember I see Lonnie Anderson, and right, I see him right away. I see you, right?
Yeah.
And they go in and they give me this big, no trouble here, right? No trouble. No, I'm not going to give you no trouble. I promise.
Yeah.
And I go in and they give me my key, and I walk to the room, and there's this little weird looking black guy, dude. I mean, like, I can't sit in the room with this dude. You know what I'm saying? He was just not because of anything else, but he just looked weird, dude. You know what I'm saying? I don't want, so I walk back to the counter and I go in and they give me my key. Go ahead. I gave him the key, and I'm like, I can't go in the room with this dude. They're like, well, it's a double room. You don't even got to go into they think they're doing me a solid, you know what I'm saying, by putting me in a double. Yeah. And I'm like, no, dude, I can't go in that room with that dude. You got me. No. Yeah. And they're like, well, you're going to have to go to the hole then. Oh, really? Yeah. So I sat in the hole for 90 days for refusing a room.
You was in the hole back there the whole time?
I was there for 90 days, and then I got out. Yeah. And they put me in a different, I wasn't in Lonnie's unit anymore. They put me in, I don't know what it's called. I forget what those are called there. That right across from there, and it's this leveled one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Anyway, so they put me over there, and I'm there for about a week. Yeah. We're downstairs playing pool,
Yeah.
This old black guy calls me a bitch.
Oh, jeez.
And then I'm like, all right, I'm going upstairs to get my shoes. He's like, yeah, that's what bitches do. They go get their shoes. So I teed off on him right there, right in the day space. There wasn't no going to cell fighting, So then they sent me right back to St. Cloud. Or Stillwater.
Stillwater?
Yeah, they went, yeah.
And then you finished out there, and then the feds came and get you after that?
Yeah. So I started off in the farm. Right.
Oh, okay.
When they first, because I was only on the, I was on a violation for fleeing the police. Right.
Okay, yeah.
And so they sent me to the farm but it's only it's like the minimum security level, right? Yeah. And I hung a left in a no left-hand turn lane and got fleeing the police.
Oh, geez.
17 months.
What? How do they do that, man?
Well, because as we're coming to the stoplight,
they're supposed to stop right away or something.
Maryland there.
Yeah.
Right? Going west on Maryland and on Arcade, there's the no left-hand turn between 4 and 6 o'clock or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? I had the clavo sitting on my lap. And cop gets behind me, hits the lights. So I hang a left-hand turn and I threw the shit out the passenger window, right? And I pull over like a block up. And he was so concerned about being a tough guy, right? And like making me look like a small person.
Yeah.
That by the time he had got me out of the car and secure and went back to hit the package, somebody else had already grabbed it.
Oh, yeah, for real. It was gone, huh?
It was gone.
Well, hey. That might have been a good thing.
Right.
Might have been a good thing, man.
Yeah. Anyways, so bounce ahead. You're now what? When we hook up again? When you were living out in
Fridley there.
In Fridley there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, bounce ahead to there. Where were you at in your life there?
Well, I was still using drugs and stuff, man. I think that was like 2000.
Because there's a moment between then and recently when we hooked up that you quit using methamphetamine, and you haven't used methamphetamine in a long time.
Yeah, a long time.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was still fucking around then.
Right.
You know what I mean? That was right before me and Tara moved to Portland. I think we actually went in like 2012. Me and Tara went, and then we ended up there. And then after I came back in 2013 is when I just flat straightened out, man. yeah, you know what I mean. And I just, I was still selling a little weed and shit here and there, and but I had a job. I was working at the magazine place over there that Tony Mulder started, KMK, and I moved into here, and man, it's been like that ever since, my man.
Right.
I started Double Dare fucking 2 years after that.
Well, you know what? No, it's crazy. I remember the conversation we had. We were listening to some hip hop shit, right?
Yeah.
And we said, man, we could be doing this shit. And like,
Absolutely.
and I swear to God, like 2 weeks later, he's got a mixing board in here with Nate, and all that. And I swear from there, it was just like he had this thought in his head and there was a clarity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. It was like it was something you were meant to do, dude. And you just went with it.
Yeah, I really think so. I really feel like I was meant to do this. I've always wanted to be a part of music, man, but I never had any real talent, like with a voice or anything like that. But I've always had the ear. I thought I know good music. I always.
Is there any way we could play any music on here?
I wish I could. I do have something I can play.
You should play something for them, man, so they can take you serious.
Okay. This is something I did with Brother Lynch on good friend COS, Criminal Sacramento and Stash Stacks. I produced the beat, did a lot of the editing. My boy Dark Matter did the mixing, and I mastered it. But this is called Hot Shit, and you can find it on all platforms right now.
Hot shit, all my niggas gon' pop shit. Got no love for our bitch. Black boy ride with the mob stick. How you a shooter ain't shot shit? I'ma drop me a nigga like a quick bit. Why you run up these numbers so quickly? I'ma throw this shit out till they get me. Hot shit, all of my niggas gon' pop shit. Got no love for our bitch. Black boy ride with the mob stick. How you a shooter ain't shot shit? I'ma drop me a nigga like a quick bit. Why you run up these numbers so quickly? I'ma throw this shit out till they get me.
Came from the kitchen with the crack pot, cooking up that crack rock. Soon as I stepped outside, blood stains on the black top. 40 cal of my Levi's, Valley boy in a G-Ride. Bending blocks, running stops, fuck the cops till I D's eyes. Streets raised me since knee-high. More liquor and weed smoke, running around with the OGs. Cold piece of my trench coat, whole street knew what was up. Young dumb and ain't give a fuck. Fresh out, it's already tucked, pockets full of stones already cut. I was thugged out, niggas want what they get drug out. Kicking the door, let the slugs out. Blood on the floor, just dug out, then I buzz out. On that murder shit, whole scene like a murder flick. White chalk, yellow tape, only evidence on my dirty kicks. The no print, no evidence, no one heard shit. That sickness, that basic, that from the cradle to the grave shit. Rob a nigga broad day shit, snatch off a nigga chain shit. Smash on sideways shit, mask on like Jason.
Hot shit, all my niggas gon' pop shit. Got no love for our bitch. Black boy ride with the mob stick. How you a shooter ain't shot shit? I'ma drop me a nigga like a quick bit. Why you run up these numbers so quickly? I'ma throw this shit out till they get me. Hot shit, all of my niggas gon' pop shit. Got no love for our bitch. Black boy ride with the mob stick. How you a shooter ain't shot shit? I'ma drop me a nigga like a quick bit. Why you run up these numbers so quickly? I'ma throw this shit out till they get me.
It's been like a week, stuck in the house, a lot on my mind with nothing to do. I got a call from my dog, said he got a lick. I told him that I slide him too. We split the block a few times, keep an eye out for mine, just in case a nigga make a move. Look, if I ride, he rollin'. If I catch a nigga lacking, I'm blowing. Body bag, gon' catch a drift in the morning. Fuck what you talking about, hop in the whip that we saw by his mom. So many shots, they be thinking it's a dying out. Got him praying for a timeout, but you can't pray for time when you in the field. My nigga shit real, my nigga, yeah, shit been real. So my cousin got killed, my nigga, you niggas just fool to me. Y'all hear niggas talk about what they gon' do to me. It took a little time, now they watching me level up. Every the game, you can go put your shovel up. Glock with a stick in it, you take your pick with it. 7 in the wood, watch it bark, and Vic in it, she open wide. Then I throw the dick in it, say if you feeling it, I just be killing it. Double that bitch, hot off the meat rack, don't sit straight. I ride my seat back, you ride with your seat back, please don't repeat that. Cause under the seat, where I keep the heat at. One in that head, get you wrapped like a present. I'm leaving you dry like a walk through the desert. I took the game like Steph on the 3. Oh, troll, shit for delete. Bitch, I'm a soldier like P and Young Bleed. Bitch, I'm a soldier like P and Young Bleed, yeah.
Hot shit, all my niggas gon' pop shit. Got no love for our bitch. Black boy ride with the mob stick. How you a shooter ain't shot shit? I'ma drop me a nigga like a quick bit. Why you run up these numbers so quickly? I'ma throw this shit out till they get me. Hot shit, all of my niggas gon' pop shit. Got no love for our bitch. Black boy ride with the mob.
So there you guys go. That was a little something there.
Yeah, and I just I tell you what, he came a long way because it wasn't like this came overnight.
Yeah.
You did a lot of shows, and a lot of hit bars, and
Oh yeah.
to get to where you're at now.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah. But what do you think? What's the one thing that's because ever since that happened, I've noticed you've put away childish things. You know what I'm saying? When we come in,
For the most part.
for the most part, but when you
Yeah.
come in, you put away childish things. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? You
yeah.
stop caring for the little things that
Yeah.
are irrelevant. And so that happened somewhere in here. When did you start getting focused, and how did you stay focused and away from the bullshit?
Man, it's like I don't want to go back to prison. I want to leave a legacy for my kids, man. This is something my kids can take over. They can still be they can get royalties from that even after I'm dead and gone.
Right.
But my kids can get paid from the stuff that I do. I want to say shout out to my boy Stacks, man. Go check out Chatting with Stacks. Man, he's got
Stacks.
an awesome show, man. He's got awesome guests. I've been on there.
Yeah.
Poet's been on there.
Yes, sir.
Go check it out, man. He's always got new people coming in. He's got an awesome show.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. I wish I would have watched some more of your stuff before I went on. Because I dig the vibe, man. Yeah, have me on again. We'll talk.
Yeah, sweet. But yeah, man, it's just something that I want to legally. After I'm gone and I meet my maker or whatever happens,
Right.
when you die, I want to be happy with what happened here.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right. So, one of the reasons why I love affiliating with Dub is because Dub is love, man. Like it don't matter how weird you are, what color you are. You know what I'm saying? Like he treats everybody the same. And the group of characters you meet when you come over to Double Dare is you I get all my feeling like I gotta be around people of I can learn from. I get a whole bunch of it right here.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah,
Because you have an Asian dude and a black
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
and a dude who just got out the military.
yeah. He just died recently, Zach. He just had a heart attack. Yeah, man.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, man.
I was sad.
Yeah,
He was in awesome shape, man.
Yeah, dude. He had some severe PTSD.
Yeah.
He was in the military, and he was scarred. He went through some wars, and
He went through 4 tours.
He went 4 tours. Yeah, he was. Yeah, man. Me and him.
I'm gonna miss him.
Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
So yeah, what do you feel is the key factor to success, and key factor as of how you see life now versus how you've seen life then?
Well, then I didn't really care. I mean, I still had kids and stuff. That's probably why the older one doesn't talk to me, because I spent most of my life most of his life in the penitentiary. But it's just I didn't care about my life or anybody else's life,
Right.
And now I care, man. I want to be successful. I want to show my kids that there's a
You start realizing your actions are more than just actions that are upon yourself.
They affect everybody.
They affect and I never. That was part of one of my problems was that you can't realize that in your mind you're saying, what I'm doing is just hurting me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not bringing anybody else into my bullshit. And why is it hurting you?
Yeah.
And until you start acquiring children and friends, people you care about. For me, it was
There's somebody at the door.
okay.
Okay, just go ahead.
And so it was like I forget where I was going with the whole thing.
Just go ahead, keep talking, bro. I'm gonna see who's at the door.
Okay, so yeah, so you get to the point where you feel like it's just either who you are or you have to become somebody else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And because, see, part of my problem is when I subconsciously there's something inside me because I don't want to be fake when I go to my workplaces, right?
Right.
And so I sit around with these people, and I think,
Oh,
there he is,
What
my
up?
man, my
I
man.
decided to come in anyway, huh?
Yeah, I was like,
wet down there.
I knocked over a cup of coffee.
how's it going?
Marcel's here. Nice.
Is he gonna be back here right
What's
there?
up, dude? How
How's
you
it
doing?
going, man? Marcel.
I'm J-Dub.
Nice to meet
Nice
you,
to
Jay.
meet you.
Okay.
What
Did you
up,
bring
man? I'm sorry, I'm late.
No, you're good. You're good.
Jay.
Hey, just pull up a chair and
Come over here. I gotta talk to you for a second.
we'll finish
Okay.
up here with Dub, and then we'll get into your story.
Yeah, let's matter of fact, let's go ahead and bring him in right now.
Okay.
All right, there. You introduce your friend. I'm gonna get my shit out of the way.
All right. I'll take a stool.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. It was nice meeting you guys. Have a good time. And you know, if you want to bring up anything right here, just click on the, you know, and it pops up right there. See?
All right.
Okay.
Wait,
All
we
right.
ain't gonna finish our story.
Well, we can.
Well, let's
You know what
let's
I mean?
I'll
But-
sit back, man. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm in no rush. That's why I left the house.
Right.
Can't do shit,
And then
man.
I just hit Marcel's link right there. So
Okay.
it's up.
So yeah, that's to his commercial.
Yeah, that's his commercial.
Okay, yeah. So he just posted a link to Marcel's commercial. That's what we're bringing up next. He's an old friend of mine, and his story's real inspiring. So anyway, so Doug, where we're at, as we were closing up with, you know, what is it that keeps you focused on the righteous, and what is it from your past that's the one key lesson that you've learned?
One key lesson:
Yeah, well, like what's your one go-to in life that
supply and demand. Yeah, you know what I mean? Well, I'm just saying, you know, if that's one thing that I learned, you know, from my old life, you know, dealing with drugs and stuff like that to now, yeah, you know, and quality over quantity, man. Yeah,
Amen.
you know, man, if you got some, if you got good music, if you spend time on your music, just like if you got the best stuff, everyone's gonna come to you, right? They're gonna come to you first, right? Same thing in life, you know, with everything else, man. You know.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what
I like that. I like that. Quality over quantity is for real. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. And so what do you focus on now? What's your drive? What's your drive? So your whole drive is music right now.
That's it, man.
Right?
That's what I want to do. I want to keep making hits for people to listen to, man, and you know, for years to come, man. You know, let's say, you know, my grandkid wants to show, oh look, my grandpa made this.
Right.
Yeah, you know, and I'm still getting paid from it. You know what I mean? Or just whatever, you know. Hopefully people are still listening to Double Dare 20, 30 years from now. There's still going to be a Spotify. There's still going to be a YouTube.
Right.
And we're everywhere, man. And I'm just going to keep doing that and focus on growing Double Dare, you know. So maybe one of my kids can take it over.
Right now. That's what's up. Yeah. You know, you do it for family, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely for the family.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Now down the road, you know, for family, I'm not even gonna meet.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. And you know, you just got, you know, it's how we raise our kids too.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? I mean, we can't raise our kids in an ignorant atmosphere.
Right. I want my kids to have everything that I didn't have, man.
Right.
You know, and that may spoil them or whatever, but you know.
But then you also got to be prepared, make them prepared.
Oh yeah.
For you got to be real with them. I think you know, that's what I've been learning is, you know, you just got to keep it real. You want your kids to trust you. You know what I'm saying? And they want to feel secure around you. You know, and it's seeing your kids happy. It's not like nothing else.
Easy time to make soft men.
Right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Right? Absolutely. All right. Should we go with Marcel here?
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's do it.
Here, grab it. I'll scoot over this way.
There you go. I'm playing that. Or you guys switch up on.
I'll just scoot over.
Got a little chip in there. Oh, it broke up. Handle.
All right, good dog.
All right, guys, I'm gonna go talk to my wife. I'll be back.
Hey, so this is my boy Marcel. You introduce yourself. Where you from, Marcel, and how long we known each other and all that good stuff.
All right, so my name is Marcel. I'm from North St. Paul. Originally born in South Minneapolis. Moved out to North St. Paul. Grew up out there. Met Billy.
We were in
Junior
Matamita.
high?
Yeah, we were in Matamita, weren't we?
Yeah, but we both lived in North St. Paul.
Right.
You live by Kent.
Right. Yep.
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 That's when I met you.
Right.
Probably freshman.
Freshman.
No.
Yeah. So we've known each other for a long time. Yeah. I mean, we're from. I rented a room at their house for a while. It was him and his ex, and it was way back in the day, crosstown.
Oh yeah.
When he lived uptown. I mean, the difference between me and Marcel was Marcel has always been able to be the guy who can. He meets some very, you're able to hobnob with people. I didn't
Network,
really wouldn't they don't hobnob with me. You know what I'm saying?
But yes.
I'm a little aggressive.
Yeah. I was more on the selling dope, and you were a bad dog. Holy fuck.
Yeah, I was stupid, man.
But everybody has a place.
Yeah,
I
don't know.
I watched your story the other day, which was amazing because I hadn't heard everything.
Right.
I only knew bits and chunks and pieces of it.
Right.
And to hear that, because I was always like, I don't know if Billy did that.
Right.
Right. Like he could have.
I've never once acted like I did it or said I did. You know what I'm saying?
I believe it.
Never once, dude.
Nope.
And they tried getting me to, and you know what? It wasn't me. Dude.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't want that on my record in any way, shape, or form.
Oh,
you know
shit.
what I'm saying? Yeah. So we'll go with my story. Throughout shows or whatever. But my story kind of told by other people is kind of because I tell you what, like I'm sure me and Marcel, we've had a downfall. You know what I'm saying? Where where if we seen each other, it was like, oh, how's this gonna go? Like
Yes.
yeah. But we respect each other. Real respect's real. You know what I'm saying? And in the end,
here I am.
right. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
You know what I'm saying? I always had much respect for Marcel. And he's always held himself a class. And
Tried.
you always have.
Which is amazing for a meth addict and a heroin addict.
Well, right. And you
But
weren't
they're still on it.
your family wasn't. You didn't grow up in poverty or
Nope.
nothing. No.
Nope.
Right?
No, I grew up in the absolute opposite type family for
Right.
where I went.
So how do you think that comes about?
Fucking forced religion.
Forced religion.
Being having parents come really strict because they're afraid of me doing what my father did, or you know what I mean? Because so the family my father I grew up with isn't my father.
Okay.
So he was murdered when he was 21.
Really?
And I've just heard stories because I was 3 when he got stabbed, and then he was a vegetable until I was 11.
Really?
Yep.
So did you go see him, or did you just...
Yeah, just a guy in a bed with a beard.
Really?
Right.
Does that kind of fuck with you at all? You think?
Most likely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Subconscious
it probably
level.
did.
Right.
I mean, here I am a mixed kid growing up in North St. Paul.
What are you mixed?
Black and white.
Black and white.
Yep.
So your mom was white.
My mom's white.
Mom's white. Your dad's black.
Yep.
Okay.
And growing up in North St. Paul, being one of
Few.
right.
Very few. Right.
And finding out there's a difference.
Right. Right.
So add in strictness and things I rebelled against to just needing to fill in. As soon as I sold my first fucking bag of weed, I felt it.
Right.
I was like, oh, this is where I fit.
Right. Right.
And
So
that's where I got in.
It's where you become criminally insane.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That's where you become. It's like, to me, it's always been more of the lifestyle than necessarily the chasing of the high. There's people who are pure addicts, right?
Yep.
And all they care about is getting high, right? With me, it was a lifestyle that was criminally insane. That's what it was. It was. I mean, when you look at it from the perspective of a citizen or somebody who's not living in that world. You know what I'm saying? That you thought was normal. You know, you were so delusional. You thought it was a normal world,
Yeah.
and it's not.
Made it so normal.
Right.
Made it so normal. You know, periods of time where you're just like, I wish I just had friends.
Right.
You know, but then that ego hit happens again.
With the ego.
You know,
There you go.
every fat deal, every time you take something from nothing and make something, you're just like, you know, that bravado comes in.
Right.
You know, I was an ego junkie.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
right.
I may have been on those drugs for a long time, but I was never a junkie until I didn't have it.
Right. Right.
So it was time, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like I was never
Never went till you didn't have it. Yes, that ain't no lie.
no,
that ain't
you
no
know?
lie. Right.
So
So now, do you work the 12-step program?
I
Or-
did.
You
I did.
Okay.
Yeah. So I before I went to prison in 16, I went to treatment, and because I didn't want to go in with a habit.
Right.
You know what I mean? And yeah, 12 steps helped. I need people, man.
Right.
I can't just get sober and be sober. I need, like, I'm a social fucking person.
Right.
So I
Right.
need people, and the only way that I either get into church or get into that.
Right.
That's the choice I had.
Right.
And-
Things that are positive to keep you focused.
Yes.
Right.
Because if I don't have people, then I just go back to what I know.
So, like, you work out,
Oh, yeah.
so, right? You know, how do you make time for that? How do you get your mind focused? What gets you in the gym every day? You know, do you gotta have somebody else, like a partner, that's pumping you up, or do you self motivated? Like,
Self-motivated.
yeah,
Yeah. So I've been part of my, being in recovery has been working out.
right,
And just, I've ebbed and flowed. I've gotten really big, and then I've gotten a little bit smaller. I haven't been smaller than this. So,
right,
and I got to the point where now I have to get up at 5 o'clock and go to the gym because
Right.
my time to myself is between 5 and 8 a.m.
right,
You know?
right.
So kids,
Kids, how many kids you got now?
4.
You got 4 kids.
So I got 2 in the house, but I got 25, 26, and then 7 months and 3 years.
Oh, you started all over.
Oh, you got to meet my wife.
But it's all right.
You know, she's
Gotta get
amazing.
that man.
Yeah, that's what it really is. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, sometimes I feel you. I feel your pain. Sometimes you just can't help yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that happened quick. You know, but now I'm married for the first time in my life. I have a relationship that I'm really into. Like, I have trust with somebody. I have a partnership. Right. I've never had a partnership.
Right.
We're building from where we are with nothing to having something together.
Right.
So I'm not bringing her into my life when something's already built.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
we're getting to do it together.
Me and my wife are real similar in that aspect. We both come from, and we're really learning from each other.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's nice to have 100% faith.
Right.
You know,
right.
and to just give that.
Right.
You know, which
Right.
is hard because
Right.
I've never met a faithful woman. I've never been a faithful man. So
I can't argue with that. Very
Right.
much. Although I can say I've been faithful to my wife.
Great.
So
I can too, which
right,
is nice.
right.
You know.
It feels good.
Yeah.
Yes. So now you come along in the years. Now you're successful in success. You're in success of doing some meaningful things.
Yep.
Right, for the right reasons.
Yep.
Right. And you started. How did it all come about that you got into staffing? What was that connection that was that got you in the first thing in the door there?
So I started working at when I was on ISR. I started working at a event company,
Okay.
and I worked my way up from just a server to a banquet captain, and finally the owner was like, "You're definitely more advanced than being a captain." He's like, I want to talk to you about something, and so I became the banquet manager. Never done anything like that.
Right.
And then the Super Bowl came along, and I was working for the company that has the Minneapolis Armory, and I got over 150 workers for the Super Bowl at the Armory.
I remember that.
And I did that with your wife came.
Yep.
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 And I did that with just myself.
Right.
And I was like, oh
Right.
shit, I can do this.
That was like the beginning of
That
it.
was the beginning of it.
That was the beginning
Yeah.
of it.
And
Right.
and I ended up getting fired from that company for asking somebody to eat, or for allowing my workers to eat some food that was just going to get tossed.
Really?
Yeah, at the desk I said, all right, well, I'm going to start a temp service. And they said, well, come back. We'll be your first contract.
Really?
Yeah.
Sweet.
And everything else has just been doors, man.
Right.
You know, if I'm going the wrong way, I get resistance.
Right.
If I'm going the right way, the next choice just keeps fucking bringing me, man.
That's how it goes too.
It's fucking crazy.
Then you just can't hit that self-destruct button.
No, and I'm building something on the way here. It's funny. I was thinking about it, and I was just like, God, what if I wanted to just stop? What if it was too much for me and I just wanted to stop?
Right.
And fuck, that's a scary notion.
It is, dude. I for some reason I always try to, it's like you feel like you're afraid of success, and that's part of the thing with the show. I had a occurrence that happened, recently, and it was like it kind of made me drop my ego a little bit. It brought me into everybody's told me, you need to talk to people. You know what I'm saying? Like you really get through to people, and so I kind of want to be a motivational type guy. You know what I'm saying? I want to get knowledge, real knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Because that's you can't pay for real knowledge.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Something that somebody's been through it, and he says, you know what? This is what worked for me, and they keep it real. So what works for you? What keeps you focused? What keeps you,
Them kids, man.
kids?
Them kids. I wasn't a father. I have two older children that I wasn't a father to.
Right.
I was a drop in, drop out.
Right.
And now, like, my daughter's beautiful. Like, she's going to be ridiculous.
Right.
And
Right.
I want her to know what a real man is.
Right.
I want
Right.
her to know how a man's supposed to love a woman.
Right.
I made a deal with the
Amen.
universe, and I said, listen, I will be the man I need to be for my wife, for my children, and and I just want her to see that because I know too many girls.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah.
There's you and there's a couple other friends of mine. Quite a few that you guys had a reputation. Right.
I do believe. I there's a lot of them. There's a lot of girls that suffer from low self-esteem. And that's a big thing, man. So for her to know what it's supposed to be to what a man's supposed to be to a woman, and for my son to know that,
Right.
it means a lot to me.
Right.
And I want to show them that you can do anything. If for me to build what I'm building and get in the doors I'm getting in, and looking them dead in the eye and saying, I don't qualify for your job because of my background. Right. That's my whole mission is to bring, to decriminalize people.
Right.
Because the record don't mean nothing. It means you made a bad choice.
Right.
That's it.
It doesn't mean who you are after that choice. It says nothing about that.
It's an action, not a being. And I got two guys with murder raps that one of them was in for like 19 years, been in at 16, got 299 months for aiding and abetting because he wouldn't tell on his side.
Right.
And I get him a job. He performs. He meets like the period of time that he works for me to get hired on, and they're like, have you seen his background? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, murder. And I'm like, what does it matter?
Right.
He served all of his time. I mean, he served 2 decades in fucking prison.
And he didn't do it. Right.
I try not even to get into that. I don't even give a fuck.
But if it's aiding and abetting, it means you didn't.
No, for sure. Even if he did, it should not be a thing. He did it as a child. Right. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It doesn't say who the person is.
No, man. And I was like, he grew up. He grew up in a place where where respect is is everything. Right. Right. And I was like, you're getting a hell of a man there. And I was like, how does this work? They're like, I mean, he fucking works really well.
Now, do you shoot in with, did you get them bonded and licensed? And
I do, I can.
I mean, but you don't use it as a selling point.
I don't need it, man.
No.
It makes them go, well, why would I need this? What I need is the statistics that say it never gets used. Right. That's what I really need.
Right. Okay.
Right, I need the statistics.
So then that's a red flag right away when you say that. Right.
Like why do we have to be protected? Right. And but I just need those statistics.
What if it came with the tax write-off first?
It all does, man.
Right.
You know, if you
I
hire
suppose.
felons,
Right.
Yeah,
it
it's
does. I don't
tax
see
write-off,
it.
yeah.
I don't see it.
Right.
You know, because just a dope dealer that has a
Right.
business now, so
Right.
somebody else might see it. But I don't see it.
Right.
You know, I don't know how much it is.
Right.
But it's these conversations with people that are just behind the computer screen looking at the results of a background check,
Right.
and being like, well, yeah, first degree drug sales. I'm like 16 fucking ago. Why is this even why are we even talking right now?
Right.
Why is this even coming up when you look it up?
Right. They list your every arrest you've ever had for like 30 years, man. It's like, are you serious?
And the misdemeanors. Right. You know, so you get some knucklehead who's trying to get their life straight but keeps getting a bunch of good thefts. They all pop up.
Yeah.
We're not even supposed to judge by that.
Right.
And so fighting with these people, and you know,
Right.
and fighting with them from behind the computer screen. Now, Phil, somebody like us making those choices, you see a guy with a domestic, a disorderly conduct, and some other wild shit in a short period of time. Oh, he was in a bad relationship.
Right.
You know,
Right.
we can say that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, but if you get somebody that didn't grow up in that shit, went to school, did all this stuff,
Right.
and they look at it and they're like, oh my gosh, he's a woman. You know, most likely, cops can chicks said something, or you know.
Right. So yeah, so we all know, not that it's always like that,
No,
but
things ever always.
that's right. I mean, there's always, the reasons why that should be like that, but a lot of guys get the Jimmy Jam. I just didn't ever put myself in that situation. You know,
My own boss, bro, because I got sick of it complaining to everybody. You know, oh, well, this, and that. You know, then they want to talk about it with you.
No.
Yeah, I'm trying to change my life, man. That's a totally different man back there. You know, this is easy, you know. So I'm not in this.
It's real, man. And so I've been fighting. One of my goals is to make it to where companies get any of our money, taxpayer money, have to put the background check shit out in the open. Like they do a menu at a fucking restaurant. Let people know what they qualify for. Sure. Before they get started. Because I know a bunch of people that fucking get, put an application, put it in, they're like, I'm getting a job. You know what I mean? And here they could have never got a job.
Right.
You know, so you do that 4
it's
times.
defeating. It's defeating.
Absolutely.
You're absolutely. Yeah,
It ruins it. So I'll go back to what I was doing.
You know what I did? When I got out 11 March 2014, I went down to the Premier Marine, right? And I walked in there and I said, you know what? I got 7 project manager or whatever. And the manager, I'm like, look, I just got 11 work. I just got federal, I'm clean. Just hiring people for $14 an hour. You have no film policy. Just hire me for $11. And in 90 days, give me a review. Let me see if I can get on.
Mm-hmm.
I said, all right,
that's cool,
right? And I did that, and I went from $11. 90 days later, they put me at the $14 minimum wage or whatever that they were paying everybody else. And then within 3 years, learned how to weld. I'm skilled now, and I got paid $20 an hour by the time I left there.
That's awesome.
Right.
There needs to be more of those people, though.
Right.
There needs to be more opportunity givers.
Right.
Because that's number one. That some of the best workers come up. Right. If they're given, if somebody's given a chance, I think he's the best of them. Right. Especially if it is right away.
It's got to be in a timely manner. Yeah. Right. Because if you get too much on your feet doing with nothing to, idle hands,
then you get a job at the last minute, and then you're like,
there's
better money out there.
Right. I had an idea for like something for stuff. I think I shared with you before. It was like if you had a bus, a small bus, right, and you went when you got these guys, even before they came out the joint. So they had a job before they got out. They got out. They were scheduled to start working at a certain time. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Get it all in progress.
Let me ask you this. This is one thing I'm working on. So, in state prison, is there education?
It's worthless education.
you can't. So is it
They
federal
make you
prison where you can go and you can become an electrician?
you can do stuff like that in the feds. You can do stuff like that.
Can
in
you do it in
states.
state?
You can. I mean, like they have.
They took them all away.
I mean,
The masonry and St. Cloud and
Yeah.
stuff
I
like
mean,
that.
they right. In Minnesota, they took all that, most of it away, but there's still things that
Still brutal. So I'm working on something with the AFL-CIO, which is like the union of unions, and we're trying to get into prisons a year before release for long haul
Right.
people. Bring them union opportunities, so we'll get them the apprenticeship while they're in there, where they can come out already like a couple
you
years.
know what you do, dude.
Huh.
You get you your own halfway house, dude.
Yeah, it's tough to have.
No, it's not. It don't take much to get
For
a
sure.
halfway house.
But then you have your hand in a lot of pockets of one person. So if you have the housing, the employment, the freedom aspect,
So
it's a fucking lot of things to be in control of. I mean, that puts a lot of power in one person's hand.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody should put that much in one person's hand. You know?
Yeah.
Because I have a source I run.
Right.
You know, and I'm my right hand man in my business. He lives there, and one other guy. But that's it, because if somebody doesn't show up to work, I'm gonna get it personally. It's kind of personal,
Right.
You know, and I had that experience, and I lost my shit.
Right.
You know, put my money, and I'm like, putting him to work, and he's like, I can't do it. I'm like,
Right. Right.
Oh, I snapped.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I got a guy who did that to me not too long ago. He come to me. He says, "Man, they gave me $2,000 advance on this tree job, and I blew it all. You know, it was buy all the equipment and shit, right?" He's like, "Help me out and bail me out. Come work with me, right? And I'll cut you in at 50%, right?" So I'm using my truck. I'm driving from Wyoming to Oakdale, to South Minneapolis. You know what I'm saying? With the Bobcat on the back, or all the equipment. You know what I'm saying? And I'm paying for all the materials, everything, and then he paid me shit.
What?
Yeah.
So you lost money?
I lost money.
Yeah. That's what you were posting about.
That was a couple of years ago.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like, oh shit.
No, yeah, no, it was fucked up. It was fucked up. But
so what's it like not being able, like, taking that from the other side? You know, like, because I have issues, man. I have case in point. I do storm damage, roof reclamation. I had this lady out in Roseville. Tree fell through a roof. I got her whole house done, redid her complete basement, all off a fucking hole in the roof. I killed that job. It should have been about a $15,000 payday. She, the whole time, kept trying to be like, "No, you guys can't come today," and all this shit. We had to pay her $15,000 of our money.
What?
Because she was like, "I'm going to take you to court," and then she didn't take us to court, and we took her to court. Problem is, the owner didn't have solid contracts, didn't do change orders for stuff they changed and stuff. Like, any other customer would have been like, "Thank you," you know, like, "Oh my God, here's the check. Thank you very much. This bitch got us for $15,000." I'm a vengeance maniac,
right?
You know, and to not do something has been the hardest thing that I can do. I mean, for real.
Right.
Like, oh, you're gonna get a new car?
Right.
You know, like so many things.
Right.
I'm not gonna.
I'm
not gonna do anything.
Yeah,
but I'm not gonna incriminate myself.
Right.
You know, but
it's those thoughts that you can't react on. You know.
And I sit on them and I just mull them over. I make plans.
Right.
I used to write out like whole murders and stuff. You know, like anytime I would get jacked, I'd literally sit down and I'd plan out a murder. You know, and I could never do it. But God, man. Just the thought, you know, the mental masturbation of going through it.
It is, you know, and it's all ego.
Oh, it's all ego.
It's all ego, dude. You know, it's we care for things that don't need caring for. You know, really.
Yeah.
You know, like somebody, you get out of prison, you get a job, right? And this is the part that I'm trying to focus on is the subconscious criminal, right? Where you become the criminal insane because it's been. So you go do your time. How much time did you do in prison?
I almost feel bad saying it.
No. You know,
I went through CIP.
that's right on, dude. You know what I'm saying? But so now, while you're in prison, right? CIP, your boot camp, it's there. You know what I'm saying? It's hard. Everybody is stressed out. You're big little bitches. You probably, I can just imagine.
Bullies.
Yeah. Everybody just
I had a guy work with me. I had a tall, skinny guy, and he was like, "You're just a bitch." And I was like, nowhere in this world except for Raider would you ever say that to me. You know? And I was just like, because I don't want to go back to 3 years. You know?
right. And so, but it's like this. So somebody, you get out of prison and you get a job, right? You're doing good. Let's say you work for 3-4 months, right? And then all of a sudden, this guy over here just thinks shit. Nobody pay any attention to what he's saying. It says, "Hey Marcel, go get that for me, bitch." Right?
Yeah.
Now you, what does that mean? He wants to fight. Yeah. He wants to fight. If you call me a bitch, it means you want to fight, right?
Yeah.
But to this guy and to everybody else in the shop, they can call me bitches and hoes and whatever else for however long. And it's the company fucking law, motto.
Yeah.
And us, their thinking is wrong. It's not our thinking. It's their thinking, right?
Yeah.
And really, when it gets down to it, a name is just a name.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not her, you know, and
Reflects more on the person saying it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, where are you at, right?
No.
And so it's these little things that help us to reflect us back to where we were. You know what I'm saying? And what is it? What is your little thing that you just can't do? You know, like what's that one number one? Your number one, what they call it?
Pet peeve?
No, your trigger. What's your number one trigger?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. You know, the thing, it's just
How would you know if you were falling off? Like if you're going, you know what I'm saying? What's your number one thing that's a red flag for you early in the game? You know what I'm saying? Like that stops you from going back there.
man, if I stopped working out.
If you stopped working out, right?
If I stopped, I don't know. I haven't been tested like that.
Right? No.
You know, like I don't know, man. I honestly think that it got to the point where I tried not to wake up too many times. You know what I mean?
Right.
It got to the point where, you know, just dread every morning. Every time I'd wake up, just like, fuck it.
Right.
You know, here goes another one.
Right.
And I got some reprieve. Like, prison was amazing for me.
Right.
And you know, I don't.
Right.
All I have to say is, like,
some people need structure.
I needed fucking structure. I needed
right.
to think about what I said before I say it. You know, like, I needed everything that they gave me to kind of look at this shit.
Right.
You know, because
that's
really,
a good way to look at it. It's a yeah. That's
I'm gonna live for a long time.
Right.
And I was gonna live for a long time with a fucking habit.
Right.
You know, on a slave chain that fucking kept me going every day. And I'm not going to be a person that just dies from it.
Right.
Let's keep living in it, man. And that sounds worse than anything.
Right.
You know, that's what ruins it for me, man. Is you know, never having had.
Right.
You know, like, that's worse than I don't know. So the fear of that is stronger than any of that other stuff.
Right.
The fear of that is strong.
Right.
And God, all these people that you meet in life, man, you got so much potential.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And just knowing somewhere. Right. I used to pop out ideas constantly and can't do it.
Can't do nothing with it. It's been my curse. Dude.
Yes.
I got so many great ideas, but there's no way to put. You know, and you don't have enough faith in yourself to finish it out.
No. And now I have that.
Right.
So now I'm like. So when I got out, I went to Summit Academy, became an electrician.
Okay.
20 weeks of that training, went straight into the electrical union.
Okay.
You know, I had a good job, $2 raise every 6 months.
Right.
You know, like, shit was really, I mean, that's a great career to get in.
So the Summit Academy, I've seen it. I don't know too many people have been.
Fucking great.
Great, yeah.
Great. I don't know. It's free to me.
Right.
It's free to everybody.
Right.
So,
right.
you know, I got used to waking up at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock every morning and getting on a bus and going to fucking school.
Right.
That routine I need.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Especially coming out of boot camp, waking up at 4:30 every morning.
Right.
Like if I didn't maintain that in some kind of a semblance. But, you know, when I decided to start my company and when I did both at the same time for a little bit. And finally I was just like, I can't do this.
Right.
I was like, you know, I told my wife, then girlfriend, I'm going to quit. And they were all like, "Oh no, what are you gonna do? You know, what if it doesn't work?" And I'm just like, "Fuck fear."
Right.
You know, I used to walk around with pounds.
Right.
You know,
Right.
What is fear?
Right.
You know, we used to drive in hot cars.
Right.
So just go for it.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's that ability to
follow
through
and follow through.
Yep.
You know, it was there a couple times. You know, you felt like, you know.
No, man. No. I know.
No,
like I know.
Right.
You know, like I have mad faith. I like, you know, faith. I respect and I really like faith in other people. I like seeing people of faith, like real faith.
Right.
You know, like you meet somebody that's a Buddhist monk, you're like, man, that's amazing.
Right.
You know, that's some serious faith community.
Yes.
You know, you meet super good Christians. Yeah. Like, that's some serious faith.
You think about Buddhists, dude, they got to meditate on a mountain for like 20 years before they can even like start talking about a conversation with somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
Look at Muslims praying 5 times a day.
Right.
Like that's insane devotion to a set of fucking rules.
It is.
And if it's faith, I'm down. I can't knock anybody's faith.
You know what? I have no qualms with any other race or religion other than my own. The only thing, you know what I'm saying? For real, it's like when you get into it, really, it's all the same, right? I mean, when you get down to it, you know, it's all the same. And as long as you respect somebody, you know what I'm saying, and you're from different cultures, you're from, you know what? There's that you can only learn so much from your own. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I mean, and the only way to learn more is from somebody who's different. You know,
in boot camp, I went on a mission of like only reading like helping books, and then I read about all the religions, right?
Yeah.
And I befriended the dude that ran the Asatru there. I went to Islamic Juma, like I went to all these different things. You know, awesome, I started Islamic Juma at boot camp, you know, and I was just reading it, you know, and in the beginning it talks about it, you know, all you know, it takes Jesus and the Jews and the other books and says, hey, these are all them.
Right.
But then man gets involved, just like all other religions. So the further you read, the more you just hear. So it's just like, oh shit, that's just like, Asatru was super interesting.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I could get with that.
Right.
You know, and I could only get so many things to read.
Well, and that's the thing about Asatru is it's, you know, or Odinism or whatever deity is, you know, is your prime deity, I guess. But Asatru would be of the Asa, of the Azure, you know, which would be the, you know, Odin and Thor and Balder, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas if it's the like Freya, you know, and Freya, they're from another the Azure and the Vanir. They're the gods of the Vanir. Anyways, but it's all irrelevant because all it is like with anything is you're focusing on the energy of what those things represent. No, you know what I'm saying. And when I think a good thing about when we turn the page as what was and before and what will be, right? You come to a realization, and when was your realization? Like, when was the point?
On the way to sentencing.
On the way to sentencing.
No, I just told myself I'm going to surrender completely. I'm not going to push back in the system because, I mean, what's the point? It's a brick wall. All I'm going to do is, you know, fuck up my boot camp chance, you know? So I just surrendered in life.
Right.
Completely.
Right.
And that went for everything, man. That went for you know, coming out broke and being humbled and allowing that. That came to not being in a rush. I went 3 years without any relations.
Right.
You know, because what do I have to offer?
Right.
I got some insecurity.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So, you know, it was a very that was a big moment for me.
All right.
Was that the question?
Yeah, that works.
All right.
I think that'll work. No. So now you got your staffing. Now you're at where we're at now, right? It's 2021. What happened with the whole pandemic with you?
Fuck, man, I made a bunch of money.
Did you?
So I just did electrical jobs.
Okay.
You know, I made like $75 an hour.
Really?
Oh, just did that. So, and my business, so my business was only staffing events.
Right.
So banquet servers, large weddings, large corporate events. That died. I was able to, through a relationship I had been fostering, I got into some placing machinist, and that made a bunch of money.
Right.
You know, and that got me into a whole nother industry, and that's been growing. And
So now you're at Target Center, Target Field,
Target Field.
U.S. Bank, right? You're at the Armory.
So
right?
I'm at Huntington, which is TCF. So Gophers, Vikings, Twins. Next year I'll be at the Saints.
And you're how much you're staffing the workers there, correct?
Yep. Right now I'm at like maybe 20
Right.
at a time, which is, I don't know where everybody is, but if you need some work,
Right. He's always
workers,
posting work, man.
Workers aren't back, man.
Right.
It's insane. I don't know if it's a lot of cash jobs got picked up, which makes sense.
Right.
You know, like I don't know what it is.
Everyone was getting on that.
There ain't no money no more.
There ain't no excuse not to have no job. I ain't got one right now.
Right? Fuck.
Unemployment was killing it, man.
Yeah. I didn't get none of that shit last year.
Really?
Yeah. People are getting $600 a week. I was like, I applied for it. They're like, you owe us $5,400 from like a $175 overpayment back in like the early 2000s.
Oh, jeez.
Interest.
Yeah.
So I didn't get none of that shit, man.
That's too bad, man.
Well, yeah, it is because it's part of my money too.
Yeah.
You know.
So now you're doing this. Is it full time?
Yeah.
That's your full time.
Fucking all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you working on the side?
I do electrical jobs.
Yeah.
I got another electrician, so I get a lot of calls for that stuff. So
He does electrical jobs.
Yep.
Is there a link or something?
No. That's just word of mouth.
Just word of mouth.
I ain't got that much time, people.
I'm talking with your staffing.
Oh yeah, so Strive Staffing MN, all one word.
And they can come to you
.com.
and they can get possibly get put built as it's like big banquets and stuff like that a lot of times. Or
yeah.
what?
Well, so there's banquet serving, and then the stadium stuff is $17 an hour, which I think is amazing because it used to be 14.
Right.
You know, and it went up $3. Fuck 15. You know, that's way gone.
Right.
If you get a job for $15 right now, you're not working hard enough.
Right. Right.
Let's put that out there.
Right.
Because I mean, you can demand what you want because nobody can get people. Right now is the time for the workers to really demand what the fuck they want.
Right.
You know, right now people can have Amazon on the rocks. You know,
right.
People aren't going back to work. They can use that power.
Right. Rosenbauer, where I used to work for, my buddy still works there, and he's in shipping and receiving, right, and warehouse and so forth, right, and so they just bumped it. He just had got to $20 right an hour, and they bumped their minimum wage to $20, and so now the people who've been just slacking off, and everybody is right where he's at, and he worked hard to get there. You know, so on some it's good in some ways, but in some ways it's like,
well, no, he just needs to demand more.
Right.
I'll leave and leave you short another driver.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That's all it is.
Right.
And he's got the power to do that because they can't replace him.
Right.
Like right now is the time that fucking people that make under 15, 17 bucks can go out there and find a job for $20.
Right.
Right now, people are hiring drivers. Drivers are. It's like $27 an hour with a multiple $1,000 signing bonus for almost all driving jobs.
Yeah.
If you got a driving record that'll allow you to drive for a company, that's where the money is. If you're an entrepreneur and you can buy yourself a 26-foot truck, get a 26-foot truck. and do these deliveries. There's $5,000-$10,000 loads just sitting everywhere.
Right. You can. Is that something that they can do, or is that something you can help them do? Is that
That's something you can do for them.
That's something they do by
I'm
themselves.
working on it though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to get a fleet of trucks. I got my goal is 5 businesses, right? 5 businesses and spend like a day on each.
Okay.
And a couple hours on each. I want a 20-hour work week. I'm not addicted to work, man.
Right.
They say 7 sources of income, man. You'll be a millionaire in 5 years.
That's
7 sources.
Yeah, 7 sources.
I believe it, man.
Yeah.
Like
that's knowledge for the head. That's what's
right.
up right there.
Like
7 sources of income. You'll be a millionaire in how many years?
5 years.
5 years. And he was just saying that you have to have multiple sources of income. So it exploded.
it's fucking good.
There's a blueprint. You know what I'm saying? There's a blueprint.
He's got to be available.
Yeah.
Right.
That's it. You just got to be able to take advantage of the ideas you have. That's it.
Absolutely.
Tara Love says, "Are you happy with your life now?"
Fuck, I'm happy with my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wake up I started waking up at 5 just so I can have more day.
Right.
This is somebody that would. It's just a big difference. It's a big difference. I'm completely happy.
Right. It's something else to be happy. It is like last night we were at a wedding and our kids were just out there dancing, just no reserves, they just, it's amazing. It is, it's, you think about these little times, like with your oldest kids, did you miss a lot of stuff like
most
that?
of it.
Did you?
Most of it. I mean, she got married. They had a whole life, and I was the like I said, the drop in and or not show up person.
Right.
Always high.
Right.
But I'll just be real about that.
Right.
Never straight with them. So yeah, it's and we have a really good relationship now.
Right.
He came over and smoked with me, and we got into a movie. That's why I was late. I was like, "Oh shit!"
Right.
I got super stoned.
It's all good. All right. So now, let's just say there's somebody younger watching this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes you want to think if you're young, right, and you're going through some trouble and shit, right, and you don't know, what I'm saying, like as a father, right, whose children have gone through that. Does that like sit in the back of your head? How do you deal with that part, and how do you make that right with them? How do you let them know that's?
So, man, as my son gets older, he understands the struggle. He has friends. He went through his own issues,
Right.
And I think as he gets more life, he understands my life.
Right.
And I mean, because he knows people that sell dope. He knows people in that life that are doing the same thing.
Right.
So he he has more of an understanding. Now, when he was younger, he didn't know that.
Right.
His mom never told him anything about me. His mom she never talked shit about me. She never put what I was. Huh? Yeah. No. Yeah. Sheila did, which is amazing.
Right.
It's amazing that woman didn't do that. But he didn't know anything about my drug use. He didn't know why I was absent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is amazing. And I got sober back after 30, just around 30, and I was sober for 3 years. And I got it to where he was living with me. Like everything was good, and then I started relapsing.
Right.
And that ended with our house getting raided. So
was that in Crosstown?
No. This is I was 38, so 6 years ago now.
Okay.
And 7 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, and he left me a note. That note said, "Why do I have to suffer because you want to be a drug dealer?"
Right.
That was that was heavy, man.
Right. Yeah. That's wow. How do you react to that?
Fuck, man. I mean, he's right.
Right.
How do you react to it? He ended up going and staying with some friends, and then finally going to Florida with his mom. But yeah, that was tough.
Wow.
These are all things adding into, really just wanting to be done.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. As a man, we take things to heart.
Well,
You know,
yeah, that was serious.
right.
And I mean, the detective, when he comes walking in the room after I've been sitting there all day, he's like, "Just let you know, we found an 8-ball in your son's room. We're not going to charge him with it, but figured you should know." Kind of like, hey, your lifestyle is rubbing off on your son, and you're going to give him this same future. And
Right.
you know, luckily my son sucks at selling dope.
Right.
At least that's what he says.
This way, yeah, I'm sure that's what he says.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't grow up with it. But that's what's funny, right? Like, he grew up with a father that did it. I didn't know my father. I didn't know anything about that life. I got moved from the hood out to the, you know, the suburbs, and never knew that life. Grew up, you know, completely middle class with
Right.
with 2 loving parents. You know what I mean?
Right.
And yeah.
So what's now that you got your shit, you know, and you're going, what you know, what's as a final thought type of thing, you know, what's the message, you know what I'm saying? Where you're at right now, like what's your message?
There is no hopeless.
There is no hopeless.
There is no hopeless, man. If you're still waking up, if you're still breathing, there's still a chance. You know, nothing is always. You know, things change and they get better.
I like that. I never think of things like that. I should think of things like that. There is no hopeless. Yeah, I like that. All right, you know, this is the Nefarious POET. We're signing off from Double Dare. You guys, good night.
Okay, that's a good way to end it. Let me figure out how to end this shit.